Hi, welcome to my channel. Today, let us discuss about business partner in S4HANA system. So what is a business partner? A business partner is any legal entity that has a relationship with the business. So as the name says, it is a business partner. A typical example for a business partner is the vendor and the customer that we used to create in our ECC system. So how this business partner is different than the vendor and customers that we create in ECC system and how it replaced. And what is the advantage of this one? In ECC system, we used to create vendor and customer in a different way. There are two different transaction codes for this one. We used to maintain as two different master data. But in S4HANA, all the business partners have been integrated when all the vendors, customers, and all other business partners are integrated and they are named as the business partner. And this has a concept of roles, responsibilities, and categories. So let us go ahead and look into it. Let us try start with the configuration of the business partner, and as and when the steps come, let us try to understand what is each and every aspect of the business partner. So business partner is a part of the enterprise, the cross application components, SAP business partner, and here we are seeing person, organization, and groups. These are three different categories of business partners. So a person means any individual, for example, a single person who can be an account holder or who as a single person who is being recorded as a vendor or a customer. An organization is a typical organization, a legal entity, which is having a relationship with this business. It can be any customers or any vendors. They are the organizations, for example, a company which is having a supplier relationship with this one. So it will be an organization and it is treated as a vendor, which is a part of business partner. And groups. Groups predominantly are such kind of a business partners where there are more than one entities and those two entities are created as a group and they act as a business partner to the business. For example, let us take an example of a banking domain. We all know about the joint accounts. Two different people will have a single account. So in that case, two different people are together created as a group and that group is created as a business partner which will have a role of account holder. So two people, which is a group, are having a role of account holder and entire this setup is a business partner. So let us go into each one. And in S4HANA, the only three categories are possible. These are the three default categories: persons, organizations, and groups. No more categories can be created. All the business partner setup is to be done by using only these three categories. So let us check what is present in each of these categories. So if you go into person, there are three different sub nodes: name components, marital status, and occupations. So name components. So here we can see, we can configure what are the different titles or what are the different suffixes and prefixes that the system needs to provide while we are trying to create a business partner. For example, here we are seeing titles like doctor or professor. So we can add more and more as per the client requirement. Here the name affixes and similarly the name suffixes and everything. And if we go to the marital status, here again we can see what are the three different statuses or four different statuses. We can add more based upon the requirements. Similarly, if we go to organizations, here we are having different types of industry settings. So what are the industry settings, or are there any numbers that we want to maintain? So for each and every different industry, there is a different number that we maintain. There's a technical key. And while creating a business partner, there is a field called industry. So which industry does this business partner belong to? So that is the place where these fields are populated. We can add new fields or we can modify the existing ones as per our requirement. There are legal forms. So there are, this is similar to title that we're having for the person. It is a corporation or a PLC or commercial partnership. So there are various legal forms. Again, legal entity. What kind of a legal entity it is? Whether it is a government body, a municipal body, or a public sector, or a private sector. So all these can be configured here. Let us go to groups. Group types. So here in this particular system, the groups are not configured. But for example, if you take a banking client, there can be a different groups. For example, a joint account can be one type of a group, or there can be some other groups which they are using in that particular banking service. So such kind of a groups can be configured here. So now let us try to understand the basic settings of a business partner where the entire configuration is done. Before to do this, I just want to open the business partner screen, and we can go through different screens so that while configuring, we can try to relate where these changes are affected, or what kind of fields are changed and where this can be used. So I'll try to create a vendor business partner. So I'll go for a organization. This is an organization. So there is a different groups, vendor, customer, or any other groups. I have created one group for my company code. I will use a AVIN vendor group. So there are different BP roles. So out of this, there are agents, there are FI customers, there is normal customer, there is a FI vendor, normal vendor. There are various others which are not explicitly used in FI system or ERP system, but there are various which are used in Calypso environment, or which are used in banking services, or various other industry specific solutions also. Because S4HANA is an independent component which can be used together with ECC, ERP system, or it can also be used with banking services, deposits management, industry specific solution of SAP. So there are various industry specific solutions, and there also business partner can be used. So this contains all the required roles that are used for various solutions. So let us go and create a vendor, a purchasing vendor, or just to make it simple, I'll go and I'll create a FI vendor. Okay, it is asking whether you want to create a new one or save the existing one. As there is nothing now, let us create a new one. So these are the titles that we saw. There are different titles, and let us give some organization one and search term organization. This is used to easily search the business partner here. There are various terms by which, various fields by which you can search a business partner. You can search by using the search term field, or external number field, or a number field, the name, address, and everything. This is the business partner all identification number that we will see where it is obtained. So before that, let me try to give some I'll give Kolkata. Okay, and there is a language in which we want to maintain all the communications. For example, different client requirements might be that we want to send some communication to this business partner that a BP has been created, or even in FI system also we want to send communications like dunning or payment confirmations. All these, the language in which we want to send is picked up from here. So this is, if you want to add more than one address, we can add multiple addresses. We can create a new address. For example, there are various address categories. For example, one can be the billing address, one can be the shipping address, or an employee address. There are various categories. We can which are called as address usages. We can also add various address usages in the configuration part, and accordingly we can create more addresses. So if you go to the identification tab, you're having the external BP number. For example, if this is a migrated BP number, or if you want to maintain an external BP number which is reflecting in the client system or something else, you can maintain that particular number. You can use this one. You can go to various other. So for this particular field, the section of identification number is disabled in the field status group. So we are not able to see another section. So here we are having another section called identification. There you can give various identification numbers in addition to the BP number also. So that is what this BUPA all identification number field represents. There are various fields. There is a control field where you can give the authorization groups, the BP type, and everything. We will go into each field. What is a BP type? What is an authorization group? How it is impacted? How it is configured? We will go this all once we go to the configuration part. But before we go into that, let us try to have a view of the business partner, how it looks, and what are the various fields and various tabs we are having. So we're having payment transactions. Here we can maintain the account numbers. You're having other like vendor general data. So if you remember in the normal ECC system, wherein we are not having the business partner, a typical vendor and customer master data, there you are having various sections of a vendor or a customer master data. If you go to the vendor, we are having a company code data, we are having general data, we are having purchasing data. So as this is a FI only vendor, there is no purchasing data. You don't have any purchasing data section at the top. This is a vendor general data. Here you also maintain the customer number. If this vendor is also a customer, you maintain the customer number. Maintain the authorization group and various other fields. Vendor tax data, vendor some other texts. So this is all again, this data which we are maintaining is similar to what we have in ECC, but how we are doing it, where we are doing it is what has been changed. So now this is a general data. So let us try to go to the company code data. So now we need to assign this particular vendor to a company code. So here you can do that. You can give a company code. You can map this particular business partner to our company code. You can give the reconciliation account. And this all and entire fields and the entire tabs here are similar to the company code data of a vendor master data which we have in the ECC system. So there are two different sections. One is the company code data, one is the general data. As this is FI only vendor, there is no purchasing data. So now as we have seen the basic screens of a business partner, let us jump into the configurations. So we have seen, now let us go to basic settings. Let us see what are the different sub nodes that we're having in the basic settings of a business partner. We're having business partner roles. I'll just go through the important ones which are important for configuration, not going into very detail. We're having number ranges, groupings, business partner types, field groups, and authorization management and everything. I don't want to go into very detail now as this is introductory to the business partner session. So now let us go to business partner roles. So what is a business partner role? So you can go through this documentation which is provided by the business partner, by SAP here, to understand what is a business partner role. So while we are configuring the business partner, we have checked that business partner role is something that is defining what is the role of that particular business partner, whether it is a vendor, it is a customer, it is an account holder, it is a broker, or what kind of a role that business partner, that organization or that person is playing in connection to our business. Earlier in ECC system, if we want to create a vendor and a customer, we used to have a separate master data for vendor, which will have a separate number. It has a separate number for customer. But here in business partner, all these different roles can be created under the same business partner. For example, a same business partner which is having a same number, for example 1, 2, 3, 4, it can be a vendor, it can also be a customer, it can be an account holder, it can be a broker, it can be anything. Whatever different roles are available for that, you can add all to the same business partner, and each role will have a different field status group and different fields you can fill, and different sections of fields which you can fill which are required for that particular role. So now let us go to BP roles. So here you can see there are various roles: bank, vendor, freelancer, account holder, correspondent recipient, account representatives, clerks, agents, FI customers, vendors. So various roles can be created, and here we define what are the titles and what are the different roles that we are adding for this one. In each role, for example, if we are having this particular BP role, what other roles can be added? For example, a vendor can be a customer, but if the company wants to restrict that a vendor cannot be a bank, then if you are choosing this particular role, we cannot choose bank role. So that thing you can configure here. Similarly, if you go back, there are BP role categories. So you can categorize these different BP roles, and based on the categorizations, for example, let me take this one, FI vendor. You can assign different business partners. For example, what kind of a operation or activities or business transactions are to be allowed for this particular business role category. You can change this one, you can create this one. So all these different kind of business transactions are possible. You can restrict also here. Let us go to, I'm not creating any new BP roles because we will use what the standard ones are provided. And BP role groupings. So here you can group the different BP roles, and you can assign field status group for them, or you can assign some other restrictions based on each one. So in this system, we do not have any BP role groupings created. Category also, as we earlier saw BP role categories, those also can be grouped here. You can exclude some groups. So all this is you can most of the times we go with using the standard provided SAP provided roles for customers or vendors or anything, and also we can change this. Now let us go to number ranges and groupings. So this is the number range that we need to assign for each particular business partner. We generally create a number roles here, and we assign these number roles to each group. So as we earlier saw, let me also parallelly open the BP screen. So we saw that once we are selecting the category, whether it is a person or an organization, we are choosing what kind of a group is this. So here I am creating a group, and for this particular group, based on the group which we select, the BP number is generated. So if here I have created one BP role, we will create another BP, the BP group. We will also create another BP group, and we will assign a number range. So let us go into the configurations. Or let us also try to understand what is a business partner type and why it is used. So business partner type, if you see, we observe the business partner type in the control data. So this business partner type, we can use this to specify the field status groups. We can restrict the fields visibility based on the business partner type also. So if you see here, we are having the field groupings based at the client level, at the BP role level, at the activity level, and the BP type level. Activity means whether it is a creation activity, a change activity. So if you are creating, you want to have a different set of fields to be displayed. If you are changing, you don't want all the fields to be edited. For example, few fields like a BP number, that should not be editable. So obviously, if it is a change, you'll create a different field status group so that few fields are not editable, or few fields are not visible, and few fields are visible. So it can be done at the activity level also. And BP type, which we just saw, based on the BP type also, we can select this one. And most of the times in the default configurations, BP type field is not mandatory. The business partner type is not a mandatory field. So if you even do not give whatever fields attributes are entered at the activity level or the BP role or the client level, will take precedence in the same order. So now let me go into configuration. Number ranges. So before I go into the configuration of number ranges, we need to understand that whatever the business partner we are creating, the number range, this also needs to be assigned to the accounts payable and the accounts receivable number ranges. So although now there is no transaction like FK08 or FD08 where we create the vendor and business partner, FK01, it says it directly redirects us to the business partner screen. So although there is no master data for vendor and customer separately, which was present in ECC, but still there is a number range which will be used in AR and AP programs like creation of a sales order or a purchase order. There you search the vendor or customer based on the number range of which is assigned in the AR and AP. Like that means the financial accounting settings in SPRO, but not the business partner number. So that is why we need to link these both number ranges. We will also see that in the configuration. So let us do one thing. Let us go into the financial accounting configurations and then come to this one so that we can have a clear understanding. Financial accounting, accounts receivable and accounts payable. Let me go through vendor accounts for now. I'm going to the vendor accounts, master data, preparations. We're having account groups. We need to create various account groups. Let me create a new group. You can again change the field status groups here, but I'm not going anything too deep in that. I'm just creating a group and I'm saving it. I'm not changing any screen layouts. I'm just creating number ranges. So we said that the number ranges for BP and vendors in FI settings, AR and AP settings have to be linked. So this number range, these numbers can be different. For example, for a BP, if the number range from 1 to 1000, the AR and AP number ranges can be in a different number range. So that these both numbers, that means the number of the BP and the corresponding vendor is different. Also, we can make it same. That I'll show in the settings. So let me try creating one number range here. If possible, we will take the same one depending upon the number range availability. Okay, let me take D1, which is starting from 300,000. Okay, now I'll assign this one. We have created the group AVV2 D1. So D1 is having a number range of, yeah, this one, and this is external. That means the number range is external for this one. Okay, so let's save this one. Okay, now let us go to the settings of business partner. Let me create a number range here. Let me try to create a number range and check if 300,000 is free. Okay, sorry. Okay, which is having the range as BP. Okay, so I'll let us use this one. This is matching with this one. So we'll create a number group. Yeah, let me better. What was the number range we have selected? It is BP. Right. So let us see what is this. Okay. Okay. Yes. The search. Okay. Fine. Save it. Now we have created the BP group. We have assigned a number range for BP group. And BP types, I'm not creating anything. We'll just use the standard ones, or it is an optional field. We can even ignore that. Now field groupings, I'm not changing anything. And other than this, these are all settings that we usually do not do all the time. So it is, if a client is having a different requirement from the standard, then we go and do it. But this is the basic settings which we need to do. So now let us go and link. So we need to go to the master data synchronization, customer vendor integration, business partner settings. We have created a vendor, so vendor settings, field assignment, assign keys, and we are having directions, BP to vendor or vendor to BP. We want BP number, the number that we have assigned to the BP should be the same to the vendor. So let us go from BP to vendor. Inventories. Here we need to map the groups. AVV2 was the vendor group in ARAP. AVV2 is the same, which is the BP group. Now we are having same numbers. Save. Perfect. So we have already mapped it. Now let us try to create a business partner. We have selected organization. Let us select the vendor group which we have created. I am using standard roles. There are already roles created for FI vendor also. As we have already observed FI vendor, now let us go and create purchasing vendor. I'll use this one. Create. So if you see now, there is a purchasing section here. There is no company code section, but there is a purchasing section. So now we will understand that in order to create a purchasing vendor, you can enter only purchasing section, because for this particular vendor, someone maybe have changed it. They have removed the company code section. Let us try selecting another purchasing vendor. Yeah, let us check. Okay, search one. I think someone had changed this one. Okay, no issues. So there's another workaround which we can, instead of creating a new one, now let us go into this one. So here, let's select a title, company. I'm just giving some name for my reference. English. Sorry. Okay, and all this you can add other details like telephone and other communication details. For now, I'm just adding the mandatory ones. An address overview, there is only one address, we don't want another ones. External BP number, let us give BP 1234556. Control data, here we can give BP type. We're not, let us, if you're having vendor, if someone had created standard ones is not there, okay, ignore it. We're not doing it now. Payment transactions, let us try to add some account. So here we're having all the block vendor or archiving flag and everything which we used to have in ECC. Now let us go to vendor general data. It is not a customer, it is only a vendor. After this, I'll show how a single business partner can be both a vendor as well as a customer. But for now, let us treat this only as a vendor. So here there is nothing else that I want to add now. Okay, saved. So now the business partner is created. If you see, this is having the vendor purchase role. So this financial services and AppTech BP role and occupant, these are the standard roles that are created by default in the system. This is the standard one. Someone had added these two also to be the standard, but by default only financial services BP is created. So let us go to the financial services BP. Here we're having the company code section. Let us try to add this one. So if you see here, the business partner number is created 300030, and here also the vendor number is same. So because the number range is same, and we in the mapping settings we mentioned that the number range should be same for both. That is why both the vendor number and BP number is same. But ideally this can also be different if the number ranges are different. And even if the number ranges are same, if we do not enable the check mark that the numbers should be same, it can be different. I mean, depending upon the number range usage and the current number range number that is followed in that particular number range, it can be different. So let us try to add this to company code, AVIN. Okay, and this is not having any FI data, so FI vendor data, so we need not bother about it. Purchasing, purchasing group. I'm having one purchasing group. Okay, I'm in display mode. Let me go to edit mode. Okay, order currency and some payment terms. Go terms. Partner functions, if you want to add whatever partner functions, we can add it here. So for now I'm adding only this one. Save it. Now as there is no company code data, for example, now if you try to understand, we have created a vendor and we have assigned this to the purchasing organization AVP1, but we did not assign this to the company code. So now for that, let us also try to create an FI vendor. This is only FI only vendor, so this will have only company code section. So general data is same for all, so all the roles. So now the same thing, we have whatever details we have entered already present. Let us go to the company code data. Here we can link this particular business partner, that is FI vendor, to the company code. So sorry, let me go to AVIN. Here we can have a reconciliation account, sort key, operation if you're having anything, tax details and everything, all of the details. If you have payment transactions, you can enter this one. And let me take some payment terms randomly. tolerance groups, payment methods, house bank, payment blocks, and all these configurations you can enter here. I don't have any, I'm not going into detail of all this, but I'm just trying to create a basic one. So now we have linked this business partner to the company code and save it. Now this particular business partner 300030, it is available at company code level by the role F5 vendor standard. It is available at the purchasing organization level by using the role F vendor purchase. Now let us also make this a customer, but for that we need to define settings for customers. So let us go to the ARAP settings first. Vendor master, customer accounts, master data, operations, account groups. It's not a one-time account. Save it. Okay. Depend check a number range for this one. As we earlier saw a similar number range, now let us try to create a different number range. I am taking the number range as 0 to just having more available numbers. So let me map this one. Okay, let me try to add the number range 0 to. Save it. Back. Now let us go to the business partner settings. Business partner, let us create a business. Check here some number range here, whatever number range we're having other than the one used. Okay, this number range looks good. 02. This is different from what we have assigned the customer master data in FI settings. Okay, let us try to create a new group. We said 02. Save it. Okay, let us go to master data synchronization settings. Here we have done this for vendor integration. Let us do for customer integration. Same customer integration, field set assignment, assign keys, direction, BP to customer. Create a new one, AVC2, AVC2. This number account groups can be different also. Here we cannot choose same numbers because the number ranges that we have using are different. Even if we try to create same number ranges, it gives an error that the number ranges assigned to the FI vendor group, FI customer group and the business partner group are different. So we cannot choose this one. It does not allow. Save it. Now let us try to edit the business partner which we have created. Let us edit this one. Let us create a customer role. Here I am not using the vendor, I am not using the customer account, the grouping which I have created because vendor has already been created. The business partner is already created by using a different group. And if you want to add just a new role as a customer for this one, you cannot change the number and as well as the group. I have created the configured the settings for customer because to show that the number does not change even if you add the role and the group also does not change. Now let us try to add FI customer. FI customer, here we are having various new fields now. We are having customer general data. It is not a vendor. Let us leave it as such. Customer tax, all these fields, but this particular general data which we have already entered are same. So now let us try it, just purchasing vendor and FI customer. Just to update, we are having this one by changing the name. And this error message says that this last 5 fields, this is of 36 characters, the last 5 characters of this particular field are reserved by SAP, although you can enter it, but it will be not displayed in forms or everywhere, so it is better always to ignore the last 5 digits. Now let us go to the company code data, and the company code data, this has already been assigned to this particular company code, and now here we'll select the reconciliation account. It is already assigned because we are having an FI vendor role for this one, and FI vendor role, uh, it is already assigned to this particular company code. And here if you see, the vendor field is automatically populated. It understood that this is a vendor as well as a customer. So that is why it has by default taken this particular company code, and it has also entered the vendor number. Now, can we use the same business partner for various company codes? Yes, we can do that. Let us go to company code. Here you can create a new company code and you can add that. For example, I want to use this for a different company code. Adopt. You're having same thing. You can go and you can create a reconciliation. You have enter the reconciliation account and all other details here. Some payment terms. You can go to general data. Save it. Let us check what is this error message. AVB2 has not been assigned to customer accounts group. Okay. So this message says that grouping AVV2 is not assigned to customer accounts group. So the mistake happened is in the master data synchronization. We have created a new business partner group, and that one we have assigned to the customer master group. But the group that we have already used while creating a vendor is different. So the group with which this business partner is created is different than the group which we have assigned for the customer master data in FI. We have created AVV1 or V2 for vendors, and that one we have assigned to the vendor master. But now we are also having a customer role for this one. So now let us change this one, direction BP to customer. Yes. Let us try creating a new entry. We can even add a new entry also. No worries. What group is this one? Let us check. Is this a vendor group or an FI vendor group? Okay, this is business partner grouping. So business partner grouping, it is AVV2, and we are assigning this to AVC2. Save it. Now let us try to save this. It worked successfully. So now this grouping is assigned. So that's what we wanted to see. The grouping with which we initially create the business partner will remain the same. Whatever roles will be added to this one, irrespective of that. So the grouping with which this business partner is created should be assigned to all other master data. For example, FI master data, FI vendor master data, and FI customer master data in AR and AP settings, so that the error which we face now will not be arised in production. So now we have created the business partner. Now this is both a customer as well as a vendor. So now let us try to post a FI vendor invoice. So let us try searching here. Company code is AVIN. If you see, we have created this 300030 vendor master data. So the vendor number is same as that of the business partner number. So you can use this. You can post. Okay, company code to be changed. So if you go back and open the customer master data, if you go to the company code data, you can see that customer number is different because the number range which we assigned is different. In case of customer, the BP number and the customer number is different. But whereas in case of vendor, this both belong to same number range, and we have enabled same number checkbox in the master data synchronization settings for this one. That is why the number is same. So this is how you can go ahead and enter an FI invoice. So now let us try to enter a customer invoice. Let us search this customer. So now we cannot search a customer with Let me change the number range, sorry, the company code. So here if you see, you cannot search the number 300030 while you are searching a customer, because customer number is different. You always need to search with the number range, the number which is assigned in the ARAP settings file for the customer account group. So this is how you can do this one. You can post a customer invoice. Similarly, you can create a purchase order and a sales order similar to that of ECC. Just the creation of a business partner is different. So this is the concept of business partner, and this is how it is different from a vendor master or a customer master, which we used to have in the ECC versions. S4HANA has completely changed. So what is the advantage now? This is a central place where you can check, modify, create all the business partners. You need not have different transactions. It is the same integration. There is no duplication of data. For example, if the same business partner now, this if had this been an ECC system, the general data, although it is same for both this one, it used to have stored in two different tables. So there is to be a data redundancy, data duplication. It occupies more table data. So now in S4HANA, as these vendor master data and customer master data are a part of BP roles rather than the entire master data. Now, only the purchasing organization data and the sales organization data is different, but the company code data or the general data is same for these both because the data is common to different roles. So that's the concept of business partner. Thank you. Please check on for further videos.